So we feel confident going into that game.
So quite a confident feeling Def there. Obviously, that was before the tournament actually started. Talking a lot about Immortals. We obviously went on to see them lose to Immortals as being an invited, seeded team, I suppose you could call them. But in this situation, you can kind of see they have quite a level head to them, or at least Def does, and they're going to need it at this point, right?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing, like, you know, backs against the wall type situation. One more map and they're out, which obviously you don't want, especially going into NRG's map pick. But yeah, you always enter the tournament confident, right? No matter what's happening. And I mean, he said all the right things. That's one of the things to take away from that is that, you know, with Slummy coming in as a coach, he was just like, there's a lot. I mean, this is an issue with all the North American teams that everyone has gone through. Cloud9's gone through it, Liquid's gone through it, Optic's all gone through it. Is having players who have never been in-game leaders actually doing the in-game leading and learning on the job, and that's always very, very tough. So when you get into a team like that, you're just like, please give us any in-game leader with experience. We'll take anyone.
To be fair, I think a lot of in-game leaders have to go through that in their career. I don't think there's anyone I know that signs up and says, I'm an in-game leader, I'm going to do this. A lot of it is trial by fire. So, but I understand your point. There's a major shortage of people that are experienced in the role.
The biggest issue we have at the moment in the North American region with that is you don't see any team work their way up the ladder and become a professional team with like that same lineup. How it usually happens is you have a team who's pretty dangerous in premieres, like one of the top 3 teams. Their best player gets snatched. Their important impact player gets snatched. The team breaks up. That player goes into a pro team. He gets experience. So when you have a team like that, this is how you have to foster in-game leaders. Is you have an in-game leader that brings your team up through main, through the Mountain Dew League, through Premier, gets experience calling with the same 5 guys, gets time with the same 5 guys. So it's not just when you're in with a new in-game leader, like you could just bust out some easy strats, like these are some quick executes, here's 3 smokes that we can know for this, but when you actually have to in-game lead at a professional level, you need to be able to call things on the fly. You need to get a better feel for what all your teammates are doing without even really having to communicate that, because that's hard to do in the course of action. You have to kind of get a feel for where they're going to be on the map, where they like to take fights, how you can command them, and that's all feeling you get over time. So, I mean, incorporating a new in-game leader isn't just as easy as plugging it in usually. We've seen a couple cases where it's worked, but since we don't have any team coming up through Premier and then sticking together into the professional divisions, you never have any player as an in-game leader gain that kind of necessary experience to call tactics on the professional level. So we just don't have anyone anymore. This is all, you're just kind of like, yeah, he's got experience, but are you actually an in-game leader if all you have to do is say, we all know our smokes, just call whatever you want to call it. We had a strat, we always use call a strat Bumblebee. We had two strats. Bumblebee and
was it a
mood
Camaro that turned into a giant robot?
No, I'm not actually sure. I'm not even sure why we called it the Bumblebee, but each map had a Bumblebee and each map had a mood setter. But either way, like if you just go up and you say the name of a tactic, like you're not really in-game leading at that point, right? You're just kind of like the general at the back of the lines, just saying do this.
That's what. So there's 2 sides to that, because that's why I was listening. They said they only have about 5 to 6 strats for each map right now with Slummy, which to me is actually a lot.
Yeah, it's a bit much, isn't it?
Yeah, like he said, we didn't have time to learn. Like, you're not going to have 13 plays in a playbook and say, oh, well, that one didn't work, let's do this. No, you have to look at why it didn't work and adapt, instead of just entirely changing the tone and running a cookie-cutter strat where you're running in blindly and hoping it's going to work. There's 2 sides to this. You say it is being general in the backlines. He did have to architect the play. So he did have to come up with it and go into the server and practice the timings. But there's where, and this is where I agree with you, if he came up with that, he should know what beats it and what you need to do to change that. And I think that I've always said, and this goes... Again, long time ago, different game. But this goes, I did in-game leading COD.
Tribes.
Shut up. And the whole point, Tribes as well, but that's different. That's a different meta. The whole point of any call that I made was you knew your intention of what you wanted, but everyone had the freedom of doing it in a few different ways, and you just had to communicate it and make sure that, like, the goal is this. You get into the site, get the bomb down, and then play your post plan. It's not run this, go here. It's not X and O's. You're not connecting the dots. You actually have to think while you're doing it. And that's where I think a lot of people lack adapting calls.
And this also isn't like a criticism specifically of complexity. This is just a criticism of the entire scene. I just want to
I know. Yeah, no, I agree.
I know we're talking about complexity,
agree. But I know, because I agree with you. It's not just like, here's the play sheet, run this line. You can't do that. You can't.
Well, let's see if Slemmy can show off that in-game leader talent now.
Turn it to page 10 of the playbook.
Yeah, let's see if they can pull out that playbook and keep themselves in this America's Minor. The next map is Inferno. The teams are ready. We're going to go to a very, very short commercial break, and then we're going to go straight to the casters and straight to the game, so stick with us.
What you have released is unlike anything we've ever faced.
What's happening?
You have been selected.
Give in to me. I'm scared.
The Mummy. Rated PG-13.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're ready with the game, more or less. Looks like an exciting movie, Hank. I think I've seen a film with a mummy, but that was...
What, a website or what?
Yeah, it was a different website, different theme actually altogether. But certainly I will try and check this one out too. It looks good.
Yeah, that does look quite nice, I have to say. I prefer the sound of your one, to be honest, but still.
I'll share it later with you.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. Well, it's going to be NRG. From what I can see on the T side, I think the knife... Oh, there won't be a knife, will there? That doesn't make sense in the best of three. It's whoever picks the map, they do not get to choose the side. That makes more sense. It's not the best of one anymore. So if you're just joining us, Complexity dropped the ball on their map pick, which was Train. Lost in Doval overtime, obviously, is going to be a bit of a pill to swallow. And moving on to NRG's pick, Inferno. We don't really know enough about these teams to really comment on what this really means in the grand landscape of things. Complexity, I'm sure, can play this map, but still a relatively new team in terms of when they brought Slemmy in and Android, I believe, in as well.
And Inferno is such a different map to play than Train.
Yes.
I'm kind of glad that they... I mean, I still think Inferno is such a fun game. Many fun games have been played on this, and I think it's sort of, it's a map that allows for that kind of thing. So
it's my favorite CS map of all time to play and to cast. Yeah, I think it's awesome.
Well, I find playing it very difficult because you have to communicate so well with your team, and you know, in sort of random play, that's really hard to do. But look at Slammy, headshot flicking in, looking for more, but he's going to get run down. You don't get many chances in that position, and Fugly lands a headshot on Def as well, and suddenly it's been turned all the way around here for Complexity. They need to get one more kill in quick, and Desi's going all in here, just pushing on. Surreal is going to get dropped, and so will Desi. And suddenly things look very bad here. Android, the last one left.
Committing heavily towards the apartment at the start of the NRG, it was Slemmy to find that first shot, but unfortunately he can only get one. They committed to the A site, and I have to say, Fugly looked fantastic there. He gets the first shot towards that core position, gets in the pit as well, drops a smoke at the library position. That's such a nightmare for the CTs. It's such a tight choke point. Pretty much your only entrance point as well. As soon as that bomb goes down, you want to try to push through it, maybe trying to deny the plant itself, but Fugly shutting them down, and it's going to be 1-0 for NRG. Full commitment in terms of the force buy on the CT side. I'm not a huge fan of this, but CZ's head armor, diffuse kit, smokes, everyone's gone down to about the $100 mark. Surreal, of course, the Orpa, he doesn't spend as much. He keeps himself at about $1,000, so that's not too bad. We'll see whether they can do anything about this. It's going to be 2 AKs, 3 SMGs for the T side, pretty standard so far. Contact player middle, PGL, nice shot, but Android finds 2 in return, almost got 3 as well. It's a bit of a brawl here. I'm not sure why you have to fully commit on the T side at the very start of the round, but it seems to be balancing out, and they will find the 3rd kill, and that should be the round at this stage, but not completely out of the woods just yet.
Oh man, Daps jumping into the corner there, staying alive long enough for Lil Man to come in and help out, otherwise he would have died immediately. That was really tricky. Now it's a 2-on-2 though, and the bomb is down. Only just planted. Fugly playing in Graveyard, I think, and Lil Man on the side itself. They got a good crossfire here, and it's almost impossible, I think, for Def to break it. He does have a smoke, so maybe he could try and smoke off Fugly and just get the fight with Lil Man alone, but that just won't happen. He ends up going down. Very expensive round for NRG, but they did win it.
Yeah, an audacious round from NRG, I have to say. That's the sort of rounds that these NA teams are usually known for throwing away. Like you'll go for the full B rush after winning the pistol on the T side, run into a full stack, and there'll be just a complete crossfire you run into, and that seemed similar in that respect as well. They go straight up towards middle, contact play, which is usually fine, right? But you've got those close range CZ, you're not using any utility, you're just hoping you can surprise them. A couple of kills coming in from Android, could have fallen apart on the 2-on-2, but managed to recover with a decent crossfire on the bomb side, so no harm, no foul, I guess. Has to be the full here from Complexity, and they're going to be struggling on that first gun round. This is a dangerous position for them to be in now. So nothing really invested into this one. $600, $900, I beg your pardon, 3 P250s into this round, so going to be very difficult to get the fully equipped into round number 4. They might have the AWP out on Surreal, just about. But for now, this is more what I've come to expect in these sort of plays. You want to be doing this against the Force Buy in the second round, not necessarily against the full eco. You can go fast against the full eco. There's not really much to worry about, but they will be holding up with the MAC-10s, presumably throwing them into the bomb site first, trying to farm some cash. Ideally, they want Daps and Peter to find the majority of the frags here. We'll see if it works out for them. No, they're fine with them dying as well. If Peter gets 2 kills and dies, that's actually almost ideal.
Yeah, not a problem, really. Smoke is up. One of my pet hates on this map is that people tend to trust in that smoke way too much.
Yeah.
People just have full confidence that smoke is going to do everything for them.
The boost spot as well, for me, that still seems to be providing so many
Yeah.
kills to the CT side. I can't believe it sometimes, watching how powerful that spot is. It's almost guaranteed for one kill. I guess you've got so much to check, and there's flashbangs coming in, it's quite chaotic. You're trying to almost check it slightly, but it doesn't really work out for you. We're talking over this situation. It's obviously a foregone conclusion. Cyril gets one kill. And overall, the MAC-10's doing some great work. 3 kills for Peter. And now, this is where it gets interesting. I want to see how much head armor Complexity actually have available to them, because we've got a MAC-10 saved. It's just a replay of the MAC-10 kills. So we've got 3 unarmored heads on the CT side. That's a massive deal. If Peter, or now Daps, who gets the MAC-10, manages to run in and find those players first, it's really difficult to contain those MAC-10s, because if you just take one shot close range with the head of that weapon, you're going down. If you've got an armored head, it takes 2 or 3 shots, so you obviously have the advantage in that sense, but this is a really dangerous round now. We've got Peter with the early AWP on the T side of Inferno. That's quite rare. I'm not too convinced by that. Normally, it's one of those plays you pick it up once you get rolling and you get some money established. Yeah. This is a very early purchase from him.
He managed to play a bit aggressively some of the rounds on Train, and he looked like he sort of got his confidence back. Whereas on Cash, he was almost invisible for the majority of that game. So maybe he's just warming up over the evening. This is definitely a map that is really hard to warp on if you don't know what you're doing. Lil Man coming around the corner, and the flashbang timing is just so good. Desi can't even reply for that. And actually, Peter gets a shot through the wall on Def. That's
Did he really?
Perfect. Yeah, that was right through the wall.
Lovely. You don't mind that at all, do you? Well, it's going to be, for now, NRG, they could have run in towards B, but the bomb wasn't there either, so they don't want to fully commit. Just pull a rotation over from the A side of the map, see what the mistakes are going to be made. Peter finds yet another frag there, and it's going to be Dap surely getting kills done. Not the cleanest of plays. The bomb actually gets dropped here in middle. Android finds it. Now it's going to be a 2 versus 1. He's got the AWP as well. He will be falling back. He's hoping they just grab the bomb, and at that point go back towards the B site. Maybe he didn't even know the bomb was down, because presumably he could just hold the AWP on the bomb there and actually watch them try and pick it up.
Yeah, I wonder if he knew, because it actually did fall out in the middle of the street, so he will have definitely known that.
He's now giving his position away that he's watching P. I'm not 100% sure he's aware where the bomb is. Like in a 2 versus 1 like this, just watch the bomb and try to make it a 1v1 quickly, surely. But now he's lost track of them. He has no idea. He seems to be making his way back towards library.
Oh my god,
he could actually do something about this.
The timing could be really good. There's only 11 seconds, so if he gets this kill, they would have been hard-pressed to do anything about it, but now it will be going down, and things have just got a lot more difficult for Android.
That was brave. What was wrong with the default plan? That's absolutely fine.
I have no idea, but Breezy's going to be able to take it anyway, so in the end, it works out, but
just about.
Very sketchy round. I mean,
if you lose the bomb there, right? Yeah. And 2 versus 1, you've got your open apartments. You pretty much lost it, because then that CT open library has the advantage. Let's do the default plan. Yeah. You've got the crossfire set up. You know this guy. He's out of the situation. The site's clear, and he changes position, runs past library. If they'd have lost that round, that could have been full tilt mode activated, but still managed to bait out the shot. I guess it's fine overall. And we have to take another eco here for Complexity, some armor, CZs, P250s, and the all box out of Peter got a couple of picks there, one for the wall, as you pointed out. Round number 5, and NRG, this is their map pick. Currently got the 1-0, and sadly for Complexity, if they lose this map, they are out of the minor. I can't really think of a tournament you could say, this is a really good tournament for Complexity so far. They've had some good upsets here. They've looked promising. This one, I would say, it's looked good in the sense that they look more like a team these days, and like they've got some structure, and some of the stars are starting to align for them. Like we've seen great performances from Android. Cyril's looked okay with the AWP. Slemmy, the in-game leader, has actually probably been their best player overall, but still dropping out in the Americas minor without winning a single map. Still going to be going back home to the Complexity house thinking, yeah, we didn't really deliver once again. You can't just keep saying, oh, we're getting better, but not providing results, right? How long is this going to go on for?
Yeah, I mean, it'll take away a lot of the motivation you have to assume, right? You want to keep fighting.
I know they're practicing hard. I know they're putting a lot of effort in. You would do. If you've got his chances as a UK player to play in America, you're going to be flying absolute best to prove yourself. But if the results aren't coming in, it's difficult to keep funding this project, right? And still thinking, like, when's it going to work out for us?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Slemmy, you did just highlight him, and he finds a kill on Dabs right away. It's close range with the P250. It's lethal. Fugly will get 1 in apartments, and he spots a couple of more people. Still going to call in the reinforcements. I feel like he must have heard more than just one person there, so not sure why they want to rotate everybody towards this A bomb site. That could actually be a really big mistake here for NRG, but Breezy picks up a kill on Surreal, so that's a pretty good start. And down in the pit as well, out in the open, should be going down. Slemmy will finally drop, and Def, the last one on the bomb site, completely isolated and eventually drops, but I don't know. I think Complexity could have got a lot more out of this round.
Could have done. Got a couple of picks at the start, but ultimately NRG quite comfortable towards the end. There are 3 players surviving for them, and it's going to be the maximum loss bonus now and the double AWP setup on the CT side of Inferno. What are your thoughts on this? I'm sure you've commented on it before.
Hold the phone. I mean, this is unbelievable, isn't it? I am not a big fan of this.
I actually like it.
You know? Like it?
Only because it's KNS and Shoxy that started it. It was so sick at the start, like no one knew how to counter it. But I agree with you right now.
You're saying Def and Surreal are like the KNS and Shoxy of,
that's exactly
of the UK?
I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying.
That's a bold statement.
No, I think I agree with you. I think at the start, when the map was quite new, it was a really viable setup. It still is viable right now, but it just means that as soon as the bomb goes down a particular area, and one of the orbs drops, you've got that retake once again, or if you have both rifles go down, you're trying to double orb retake. Very difficult. If you're playing an amazing game and you're hitting all the shots, and you've got someone like KNS who is so good at AWPing, he can make it work in any scenario. Close range, long range, flick shots, no scope, sure, it makes complete sense. But like you said, Def and Surreal certainly not going to be AWPing to that sort of level. And they might have something up their sleeve. I've never commentated on this map, so I'm not going to go too into it. But generally, I would say sticking to one AWP's the best setup on Inferno.
Well, there's an opening breezy, but Desi will get one in return. That's probably all they need right now, just fall back and play it safe. I mean, the whole point of having these AWPs is that you, and I'm glad that they're doing this, they've got Surreal at Arch and they've got Def over at the B-bomb side. That's what I would have wanted. And you can tell that, I mean, there's nothing wrong with this plan. If they play both those positions to sort of the best that they can and they get just 1 kill each per round or something, then everything is great, you know, just stay alive and do that. But yeah, things tend not to work out so easily in the long run. And again, like you said, if you give up one bomb side and the bomb goes down, it's really hard to retake.
They've got no kits once again on the CT side. That's what this investment has cost them. Sure, they get a bit more firepower and a chance of finding these opening picks, go for the jewels at the start, but that bomb gets planted. Now they have only an incendiary, no kits, no smokes, and now they have to really take the jewels. You can see Def, he won't be alone by Banana, but maybe soon. He's there towards the coffin position, trying to find the first frag. He has to fight for this. He can't be smoked out. He can't be left out of the situation. That's exactly where NRG are heading up as well. They'll be smoking coffins any second now, and CT spawn, Molotovs towards the back right, and they could go for a contact play here. I'd prefer them to execute here. They obviously don't know the orbs here, but let's see if the smoke does come in. The smoke lands in that coffin position. Def can't see anything, but he fires off a shot. There's the smoke as well. This bouncing player has to be key. He needs at least 1 frag. Now it's up to Def. That's not enough. 1 kill's not going to do it. You have to save these weapons down the CT side. No chance. No kit. 3-on-2. B-bomb site. That's over.
Yeah, I mean, just the amount of stuff you'd have to check before you even get into a position where you can think about retaking is just, it's overwhelming at that point in time. So just leave it alone for the moment. Surreal looking for maybe an exit frag in CT spawn, which is not such a bad idea, but that is very upsetting. What a way to lose a round. And that's NRG about to take 6 in a row here. I don't know what you, I mean, if you're Complexity, especially with that kind of investment, you wanted more out of it. And they put, what, 3 people in the B-bomb side early on?
Yeah. Well, the double AWP setup doesn't bring the goods required for Complexity, and as you can see, they get 1 kill there. But Def was just desperate, right? He had to push through the smoke. He gets 1, it's traded out straight away. And that's a huge problem. Like, he needs to be finding multiple frags. If you're going to have this double AWP setup, I don't think it's good enough to sit towards the coffin position and hope that someone walks you across that. I don't think that's ever going to happen. A decent team will always be smoking that out, flashing you at the start, baiting out that shot. He gets flash, gives away his position. He has to fire. Then he's smoked out. He gets 1, trade comes in. I think you need to be going a bit more combat style. You need to be fighting at the car, at least at the corner, boosted up on the corner, potentially get on the wall. That's what like Shoxy would normally do. Will be at the car, will be boosted up on the wall position itself and looking at the T-spawn and actively trying to find the initial picks. So, Complexity do save 2 weapons, but Def down to the Mag 7, slamming on the FAMAS. You have to post around on what is generally considered to be a CT-sided map.
And even this position for Surreal, I mean, nothing seems to be happening in this round, but this is easily grenadable if you're on the T side. And very often that will happen. You'll just hit, you know, 2 or 3 grenades in a row right in your face. But they at least get top banana control this time, so we'll see if that's going to be working out for them or not. Surreal inching his way forward here, just 1 little step at a time. And on the other side, PTR is also ready, so very slow round coming out here for the NRG team. If they can win 7 in a row, then that's one hell of a start. And having won the first map already, I mean, they'd be looking very good, and the engagement is just about to happen. Surreal on the other side is Little Man going down first, and he's got the backup here. There is a rotation going back. You see Desi's already falling back here, but this is great for Complexity.
That's the opening we wanted, right? You get in there and get that first kill and actually have a chance to negate the full execution. If a team's able to get to full control a banana, then throw all their smokes, all the Molotovs on top of you, you've done something wrong, in my opinion. This time, Surreal takes matter into his own hands, gets that first pick, and finally, they have an advantage. They still have a lot of work to do here in this round. Def trying to be baited in with that Max 7. It doesn't look like that's what NRG will be finishing up here. Flashbang going over the top, maybe a chance for Def to fall back here or push through. I would say the former would be more beneficial. He's got the man advantage now, don't give it away. Desi now on the pallet towards the arch position. They will go back to B indeed. So falling back to a crossfire, they have the man advantage here. Surreal, similar position. He could get smoked out. We could have the same problems we had before.
See if they learned anything.
Yeah,
He's actually going to be falling back, you're right. So definitely doing a fine job at the moment. Def close there. The Max 7 takes down one. Now still a little trouble here. Hiding in dark. They don't have a Molotov to burn him out, but Surreal loses a bit of patience there and ends up just going down. Now 3-on-3 for the retake, and Complexity, they must win this round. They got the early frag, in fact, 2 of them, and if that's not enough, I don't know what is.
Yeah, they have 1 kit here, no grenades, a FAMAS, and 2 M4s. To push through the smoke as well. Fugly, oh, they're going to try and go for the boost. They're ready for it as well. The shot surely will be coming in, but it's Android that finds the first kill, and now they've got a real chance of actually winning this situation.
He's hiding inside the smoke right behind
so
them. This could be absolutely insane. Fugly, he's now turned them around, and the smoke is going to disappear. He gets 1 kill and follows it up on Desi. Absolutely beautiful. I mean, they put down the smoke themselves, and the Complexity thought, that's cool, we'll just use that to get the boost in. And Fugly thought, okay, if you're doing that, then I'll just use it to hide it in. That was that next level.
That's cool, right? Because he actually gives away the frag. Surely one of his teammates dies, but he died for the greater good, Anders, which is normally, in Love and War, that's the best thing you can possibly do. Throw one of your teammates under the bus as well. Look, this is going to be worth it.
Well, and, I will bring this back to to what the weatherman himself once said. You know, there's a fine line between baiting and great teamwork. You know, it's just
absolutely. It is like people call out Happy, for example, for so long about his sort of play, and sometimes sure it looked a bit ridiculous, but other rounds he looked like a genius because of kills he would find and rotations he would cause and rounds he'd win single-handedly. Yeah, but there is definitely a fine line and. Sometimes you have to explain it to people that are like, Fugly, sure, he lets one of his teammates die, but he's behind the smoke. They have no idea he's doing that. They're not even going to check that. The bomb's ticking away. They've got 1 kill. They still have 2 kills to find. He finds all 3, and it's going to be 7-0 in favor of NRG. Complexity now on the ropes, and still have maximum loss bonus, but everyone dropped in that previous round. So they do manage to get an AWP out just about. Surreal will be rolling that weapon.
Listen, you know it's bad when the positive thing you can say is that at least they have maximum loss bonus.
Exactly.
That's the highlight here.
They've got something. Not much, but something.
They are losing, but not entirely poor.
At least they're losing so badly that they've got some money. Yeah,
they're getting the benefits.
Yeah.
Theresa May hasn't caught on yet, so
rest in peace. She's going out tonight, I think, and there's things finally happening.
Yeah, I've not been keeping up too much. We don't want to turn it too political, but it just is funny, isn't it?
We do enjoy the political conversations at a CSGO broadcast.
Of course.
We seem to fall back to politics, religion, and sexuality quite often. So
yeah, all the hot topics that will be sure to get half the audience to hate you. It's excellent, isn't it?
It's very good.
Well, this round not really starting off the way that you would want either, as Desi's all the way down to 9 health. They are moving up. Pizza's just doing such a good job. Surreal goes down.
Yeah, that's all they really had of the AWP of Surreal. That's the first gun to drop. Desi's down to 9 HP with just an SMG as well. Slemmy has managed to recover the AWP. Not known to be an AWPer as far as I'm aware. And we'll see whether he can get going here, but that's a nice shot to take down Peter. Can he get the second as well? He can. Finally, something to work with here, but it's not quite enough. Still going to be the equal situation as Daps comes in with the third frag. 2-on-2, low HP for both CT players.
Not easy here. I mean, they've been in a couple of good positions before on the Complexity side, but they haven't been able to convert them into actual wins, and this time there's no chance. They really need to do this. They need like an 8-7 half here to even be in contention to win this one. Lil Man nearly gets completely flashed himself, walks in and gets a shot on Desi regardless, and now Def, I'm not sure how, or even if you can get out of this, yeah, probably better to just fall back.
Yeah, well, that's all the residual cash they had gone. Yeah, sure, they get the maximum loss bonus, like we said, which is only $3,400. There's no sort of extra reward you can get on the CT side like you do for getting the bomb down the T side. You get money per kill, sure, but ultimately, $3,400 we've saved them for is going to mean they're very limited in the next round.
Now, can we do some sort of real quick theory crafting about some of the changes that have happened to Inferno here? Because this is my theory. This is, I think, one of the challenges for the CT side. I think the worst, well, not the worst, not in a bad way, but I think the biggest challenge here maybe is the B-bomb side.
Okay.
And one of the reasons I think that it is it used to be on the old version of Inferno that if you were down to, let's say, 55, 45 seconds, something like that, and you hadn't really heard anything on the B-bomb side, maybe you'd pop flash someone out to go take a peek in Banana. If you didn't see anyone, you could sort of inform your team. There's a good chance probably it will be an AA attack. Probably they're going to come A. I'm not seeing anyone Banana. That's so risky to do now. It seems like the CTs are in the dark a lot now.
It's the addition of the wall position, I think, because that gives the terrorists such a fallback position as well, and boost potential. And I think you've got so many different angles to check that. I think you still can do it, but it's more at the start of the round. You want to be over in that Banana position. I think it is a massive risk. If you lose one player there, it's very difficult to fall back because it's so wide as well when you fall back. The retreat, right? You've got that wide open space. You want to get CT spawn, it's so much more room for the teams to work and try and get the refrag and shut you down. If they do shut you down, they're capitalizing. They just overwhelm the side.
And that fallback that you were just talking about, so CT spawn, there used to be that little canopy that people would hide in the close one.
So you at least get to that.
So you at least get to that, right? People would do that, with a Max 7 or something, and then they would be hard to kill even. So yeah, it's some subtle changes, but I think if you had to sort of highlight why it's become more difficult getting in the information as the CT side, I think that's part of it, is that you don't really know how to clear out Banana later in the round, and that sort of is a problem.
Well, speaking of problems, Complexity maybe recovering one, because you can see Def has got that first pick. He went aggressive in the bedroom at the start, facing towards second middle. That's a really risky base. Very unlikely to find a kill. But I guess at this point, clutching at straws, might as well go for it. The Hail Mary play then doesn't bring too much. He gets that first pick, but there's still so much work to do here. Still a huge advantage for NRG, even though Little Man's low HP. There's a contact play now, hopefully avoid Def. And in terms of his position, he's actually on this side himself. He needs to step up here. I hope we can follow him and see what he does. Here we go, and we'll see whether he can actually find a few frags.
Android's been good with the CSET 75 so far. He picks up one kill, not really too aggressive with the bullets. He's actually going to conserve quite enough and gets the kill on PTR. That leaves Daps alone, and this is a much-needed round for Complexity. It's been a really long time coming, but seems to work out just fine. One more tick, and Daps would have already been out of it. But this is it. It's for 1-8. Finally, something is working. But this is the problem, though, isn't it? It's not even the sort of victory that you can say, well, now we found the key. Now we've got You
haven't worked out what the problem was.
No,
right? You had 1 and 4, and you just rushed second middle, got that first pick, and then NRG went all in towards that core position. I guess they ran the clock down, but they hadn't really done too much tactically. There's no smokes here. There's no flashbangs. There's walking around in contact play. We call that when you're just sticking together, finding the interaction with the CTs, then committing. Like normally, if you're going to commit to the A site, you want to be smoking towards a pit position, molotoving towards a balcony so the CT has to fall back. Just something, not completely dry around the corner. And you're right. Sure, they get that round, but it doesn't really mean too much in the grand scheme of things. We're going to round number 10. It's a real back on the AWP. A decent buy now after winning what was an eco. They managed to get money in the bank and recover the AWP and AK-47s as well. Very good to have the AKs on the CT side, means you can hold more aggressive angles, go for those one-taps and actually challenge the duels at the start.
Oh, that nice flashbang that goes out the side of the map. Android picking up 2 great kills. One of them with the Molotov, sprays and gets a third one. Fugly goes down. Well, that's all the defense you needed at that bomb site. Didn't really have to peek that one, but he was feeling it, and now Daps will take him down, and that's pretty much it. Nothing more coming out of him. So 2 good rounds for Complexity. Finally fighting back and showing a sign of life here.
Showing something, indeed. It's going to be Android there. A player I think we've been quietly impressed with over this evening. He shows us 3 very good kills, like we pointed out. The AK-47 means you can go a bit more aggressive and have the one-tap potential. Close range of that AK-47, manages to find 3 kills. And finally, 2 rounds in a row. Money's starting to dwindle now for NRG. This will be their final buy, I think. They get an AWP out once again on Peter. AKs for Little Man and Fugly. So Complexity now looking much better, sure. But NRG still with such a huge lead here. On the T side, they've got 8 rounds. Complexity just of 2. And obviously, after losing the first map, if they lose this one, Complexity are out of the tournament. And if they've done well to get to the minor, sure. But I think they'd still be very disappointed not picking up a single map here. In the best of 3, after losing, I think it was to Immortals they played first. That's right, yeah.
Yeah, I believe you're right. Yeah, that would be heartbreaking, wouldn't it? I agree with what you were saying earlier, though. I do think they look more like a team, like more like a sort of a unified team. And
yeah, compared to what we saw at the beginning of this project, right? It was a bit of a mess, I would say. But since the addition of Slemmy, he seems to bring this kind of structure to most of the teams he's in, and he is kind of celebrated as a decent in-game.
I like this. Much more aggressive down Banana. Obviously, it's a risk, but it will give you a bit more information to work with, and that's a great shot for Surreal. Picking off one, the British player, a second kill there, dropping Breeze, trying to get back. He needed Android to stay alive and have his back. He really couldn't cover all of that. Slemmy will get a kill. That was Daps falling down into the pit. So still looking pretty good here for Complexity. 2 versus 3. And the bomb is stuck in apartments for the moment. What is going on here for PTR? That's a really big delay in this kind of a push.
Still with the man advantage, but they've lost control of the site. Bomb yet to be planted. Def on the other side of the smoke as well. It's going to be Peter with the bomb. Bit of a risk to try and plant it here, but the smoke provides him a bit of a veil. Bomb does go down. CT with good discipline so far. Def and his 2 teammates actually coming in with a trifecta. One towards quad, apartments, and the arch itself.
Molotov goes out, and what a kill from Peter, taking down Def, looking for the flick, not quite connecting. Where's the backup from the pit? Fugly's there to take Desi, and they win that 2v3 and make it look easy.
Yeah.
What happened for Complexity? Where was the coordination?
I think they gave NRG a bit too much room to work with that. They allowed the plant to come in. They were respecting the situation a bit too much. Obviously, you want to wait for the retake to come in. They had a nice setup there. Like I said, 1 arch, 1 quad, and 1 to the apartments as well. Maybe just grouping up together would have been a bit more beneficial. 2 towards the quad potentially there, and not allow Peter just to dance around and reset his aim. They did very well to win that situation, but Complexity will be very disappointed with that. We do know they've got decent money after having 2 clean rounds in a row. Yeah. They get a double AWP out once again. That wasn't exactly paying dividends when it was running before, but we'll see whether this is the situation that it really gets rolling. 2 towards Banana, of course. That will be Def and Desi. Desi looks like he'll be baited in behind the barrels, and Def might want to be boosted up. We'll have a look. This is what I was expecting. This is what you want. We didn't see this from Def before. We saw him get isolated at the coffin position. Now he's boosted up. He can look in towards T-spawn and maybe try and get the first pick, but still very vulnerable.
Just letting NRG fight for this part of the map, use some of the utility and use time as well. Definitely a good idea. Looking right over the smoke, he does see 1 guy jumping past, but almost impossible to get that kind of a kill in. We'll see what happens now. Very defensive. Well, the rest of the map is Complexity. Very default kind of a setup with 2 playing on the quad and apartment side and Slemmy towards the archway. And the bomb dropped all the way back for NRG, so I think they're just clearly signaling right now, we want to clear out as much as we can. Top mid and apartments and maybe Banana next before we make any kind of a move.
So Def now has to fall off the wall. That's a bit of a problem for him. Had a great position to flash. Means he just had to adjust himself slightly, dropped off, and he'll be boosting his teammate in a response. That position is often overlooked, but this looks like the full execution now from NRG, and they've still got 4 smokes handed. So the good news is no flashbang. So Def now can be deadly. It's very rare that a smoke lands in this emo position or shadow, whatever you call it. I'm not sure what you call it. What do you call it?
I call it shadow.
Well, there we go. So now it's coming in, and no smoke for Def. He finds the first kill.
Very good job, and Desi will take 1, Slemmy, and then Def again, so no problem at all. And I think that just perfectly highlights everything we've been talking about this bomb site, because if he was holding the coffin, see the smokers right there, he would have been in the same kind of trouble as he was earlier. Fugly going a bit aggro, but only 1 second left, so regardless, they were going to lose that round here on the NRG side. Android will get the kill, I think, even after the time run out.
Yes.
So no lost spawn, no lost spawners at all for Fugly. That's a problem.
No, he gets nothing there, but he still has the most money on his team. So he'll get $3,400 left over, and I think we have a pause here for NRG. So now they have to work out, do we force into this round? The money's not great, but no lost bonuses accumulated for Complexity whatsoever. They don't really have much money to work with here. So they're going to have like UMPs, AWPs, as you can see as well. But the key fact is, most of their money's down to 0, and you can see on the left-hand side of your screen right now. So you might want to take the risk of force buying into this and really shutting down Complexity before they have a chance to stabilize and actually get money built up. Sure, you can't buy yourself, but I think with this kind of lead you have right now, let's shut down Complexity. Let's try and really go for gold here and actually make sure we can stomp them into the ground. We'll see what happens. I think they will be force buying. So Tech 9s, P250s, UMPs, got some utility to work with. I think this is the right call. This is where I'd be going with this.
I mean, certainly that would break their back, wouldn't it? If they picked up this round.
If you can, it's unlikely, sure, but if you do make it happen, that maybe even the GG moment right there.
9-3. And those 2 UMPs, I mean, this is a map where, Tech 9 and UMP get close really fast. It can definitely work out. Surreal is here, but yeah, he can't stay for too long or they're going to come clothesline him on second mid there. So we've got to be very careful about that. He's fallen all the way back. I want to see something really explosive out of NRG here. I think you've got this kind of weaponry that you're playing with. You've got to just play on contact, sure, but once you commit to a push, and one of my favorite ones is definitely having like 3 or 4 coming out of apartments with one guy flashing from middle, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. That's like the surprise stat. If you can just get the right timings there and get that first kill. It just comes down to that 1 kill, basically. If you come out with a clean kill to start, you're pretty much going to win that round. But the CTs, normally watching out of a crossfire, it's difficult to make that happen, but it's definitely a possibility. It's going to be round number 13 here. 9-3 complexity. Need to win this round, as we just pointed out. It's going to be a disaster if they give it away. It's NRG on the back for sure. PT50 Tech 9 coming UMPs. Looking for maybe a CT pushing down Banana. You can see they're ready for it, and that might be the case. It's Def, though. He has not got the AWP this time. The M4 with the flashbang out as well, and he falls back right at the wrong time. I guess he does know as he drops the flashbang, goes towards new box, but he is by himself for now. Smoke towards CT spawn. He needs to step up.
Oh, man. He used that flashbang as well. He can't do anything. He's going to get completely isolated. That might be a bit too much panic, but actually Peter jumps and Desi takes him down. That stops the bomb for just a second. Now 20 seconds left and Slemmy running in, but the bomb did go down. I think he thought maybe he could cancel it then.
Look at Fugly.
Yeah, you're right. He's sneaking in behind. He's in CT spawn right now. This could be an absolute disaster for the complexity side. Fugly turning up, and that might just be it. Android goes down, and Slemmy, the last one left, 1 versus 2, and he's pretty much in a crossfire. Last bullet, I believe, taking down Breezy. And now can he get the defuse? He does have the kit. Tabs the bomb once, and Fugly just going to peek it out. He gets the shot regardless for a double kill. Man, that was, I mean, yeah. They tried it. You did say it. If they could do it, that would be the back-breaking moment there for complexity.
Absolutely.
How do you recover?
Well, I'm not sure you can. You now have to force buy in response. It's pretty much a similar situation now we just saw from NRG. An unlikely one, but must-win rounds now for complexity. They can't go into the second half with a 12-3 scoreline on the CT side. It's just not good enough. And Def, there, he had to perform. He saw he's by himself. Got the information. He's got the flashbang in, but that's all he had. Smoked with CT spawn when he was by himself. He needs at least 1 kill there to make that round a possibility. As soon as that gun goes down, he gives them an M4. They've got the bomb planted as well, and they can get any position they want. And Fugly, with the perfect flank from CT spawn, just throws the span and it works. Gets that 1 kill, but that's all he really needs. And it comes down to the 1v1. Slemmy can't do it. And Android, once again with that CZ, looking very good, but he only gets 1, and Daps recovers.
Very well done, especially with the MAC-10, just to add insult to injury. Breezy's been dropped, so after all of this, we're still in a 3-on-3. A little bit of a flick comes in. Def not really able to connect. Daps coming out of apartments and takes down Desi, and that pretty much should spell the end of the round. Slemmy with 19 health, and I don't think there's any point in really going for it. I mean, it's not like they're going to have a lot of money next round either, so yeah, well, that 1 round crushed them.
If he manages to survive and gets 1 more kill, that's something. He'll get $600 for this, but yeah, that was absolutely it. That's why I said for NRG, you've got this lead round. Even if you only get 9 rounds this half, you're still fine. If you win that 1 round with the PG50s, the Tech 9s, the SMG, you've done it. That's pretty much GG. Like I said, I hate to be a pessimist in that respect and say, oh, this could be some epic comeback from complexity. I just don't see it right now. They haven't inspired me enough. This is NRG's pick. They've already lost Train, which was theirs, and it doesn't look like they've really got much to work with here on Inferno. They take a bit. They seem to be all their eggs towards that double orb setup. It's probably worked online quite a few times. Think, okay, that's enough for us to run, but it's been shut down. And Slemmy does save his UMP, but second stage loss bonus. That's only $1,900 per player. He can drop the UMP and buy another one himself, which he'll do, I'm sure. And here's the replay of Daps doing work with the MAC-10. Nice close range there, mowing them down. So it's going to be 4 UMPs for the final round of complexity. Goes without saying, Anders, that they need this round to even stand a chance here on Inferno. It seems that they've checked out already.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly feel like they've solved almost none of the problems you need to solve to play the CT side here. I mean, all of the challenges that have been posed, you know, how do you hold a B-bomb site? How do you make sure the smokes don't just decimate your defense? And how do you keep control of, say, top mid so that the Ts can't, you know, be too confident in their rotations? I mean, I think that's right. That's one of the core things about, you know, Inferno. If you give the Ts top mid and you're pushed back towards Library or Arch and Pit, then they can rotate without you knowing about it. You know, that's one of the problems, right? And I feel like Complexity have, you know, sort of failed themselves on all of these fronts pretty much.
Yeah, this hasn't been an impressive map. We know they're a relatively new side, but this round's fallen apart as well. I'm not even getting too hyped about this. That was the CTs having 3 players towards the B side. Mowed down, flashbang went over. They couldn't really do much about it whatsoever. Desi and Def are having chats in-game right now. I think we've taken away the fun factor. We're not getting to hear it anymore. They've removed our insights.
Well, that's a bit of a shame, isn't it?
Yeah.
Although it might be for the best, because
I think at this point probably is.
I don't know. I know you're a gentleman, Hank. So I'm sure in your day, the talk was all all above board and reasonable.
No swearing.
But some of these kids these days,
it's disgusting, isn't it?
They're just brought up, with no respect at all. So.
Oh, look how the flashbang dance on the top of Banana. 3-man spray down. So 12-3 comes in, Anders. I think if you're on the CT side and you get 3 rounds, you're pretty much done for, especially after you're 1 map down as well. The morale, the camaraderie, it's all in the bin.
It's gone.
Yeah, it's just fully gone. And you're not a team that's known for these huge comebacks. And you've looked decent today, but overall, I guess NRG just running away with this one. It's going to be the T-side pistol, though. If Complexity can win this, it's always a chance. It's never over until it says round number 16 at the top. It's going to be 3 sets of armor, 2 smokes, 3 flashbangs as well. CTs with 3 players towards the top of B. Slemmy and Co. trying to get map control. Misframe flashbang, that will be the end of the world, or is it? As Fugly finds the first frag, Dap chimes in as well, and that could be 3 kills coming in as quick as you like. That misframe flash, I didn't think it would be a big deal, but actually could have been the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah, absolutely. And now, if they had got the top Banana control, they forced the rotation on the A-bomb side just by having 3 people there. So that was enough to sell it to NRG. Now, tragically, they're completely blocked in. Def, he's going to get the bomb plant. That's about the best you can say here. I don't know. I think if you had to sort of summarize it a bit, I think you could say that on Train, Complexity looked like a team that had a lot of different tools that they could pull out, and like a lot more utility they can work with, and different things they could try and switch into. And it seemed like they just understood the map better. But on this map, it's not even close.
It was the most basic kind of rudimentary setup you could have on the CT side. Like they just had. They had their default, right? They had, and sometimes they throw a double AWP in. They never really contested for the bottom of Banana ever as a CT side, which a lot of top teams do. You're smoking down consistently with 3 smokes at the start and just running the clock down and forcing them to go towards A. Didn't see any of that. Didn't really see much in terms of the AWP going aggressive at the start, going towards C-steps or something. Just having like a string to their bow to say, like, this is what we're really good on this map. They just look poor across the board. They had to force by him in the second round, but it's going to be Peter. Might be going down here. He gets the first frag. It's a 5-on-4. Android's been tagged up as well. Decent smoke, and the Molotov's not going to be affecting Peter too much, but that Tech-9 certainly is. Rips his head off, and we have got something to work with here for Complexity.
Yeah, a bit confused about why Fugly would fall back that quickly. With I thought he would maybe try and stick around and help Peter out.
No, he doesn't. He likes to throw his teammates under the bus. We've established that.
Just I'm out.
Yeah, I want to survive, and I don't really want you to, so I'm just going to leave you here. It's fine.
Somehow Breezy and Desi have managed to walk past each other up in apartments. I'm not really sure what that's about. This could make for a very weird end to this round, because if Desi's going to be falling back, so that's a free kill. And now Desi's going to be, wondering, probably just going to blame himself in that position, but it's never good when you thought you checked everything and then you end up dying to a position you already thought was under control. That's really frustrating.
Final commitment now from Complexity. 3 players towards the B site. I think Molotovs themselves out. They can't actually jump on the side. Just about get on there. And Fugly looking to mow them down. There's the first kill. Dap chiming in as well. That's it. Round over. This was the force buy as well. No plant. Android on 15 HP. That should be it. It's going to be the USP to take down Android in the end. Round number 14 is picked up by NRG. Money, morale, camaraderie, tactics. Everything's falling apart now for Complexity. And this could be 1 round away from going home. They have to take a pause here. They've got 2K per player, Anders. I'm going to ask you the question now. What are you doing? You're the in-game leader. You're Slemmy. You're 14-3 down in Inferno. You've lost the map. This is your chance to prove yourself as a team. You're going into the Tech-9s. That's all you've got to work with. What's the call here? What's the play? Let's see how close you can get it to his thought process.
I would say, well, I think I already said it. You can see they bought the Tech-9s and everything. That makes sense.
Yep.
I would still say put 4 people in apartments and have 1 playing middle, try and smoke off towards Arch so you can get in position to throw that flashbang. Yeah. Then have it pop, right in front of the balcony, and then have the team come out. Sort of a slim chance that works because there's so many steps that have to work out in your favor. And NRG, because they're in such a, they must be feeling so good. You can almost count on the fact that they're going to be a bit aggressive, and they're probably not just going to give you top mid control like that. But
well, if you get it right, I'll buy you a glass of champagne, which I've heard is really reasonably priced in this country. So
it is. I feel like I have experience with that too, so I look forward to it. I definitely look forward to it. If not, we'll call Moses if anything.
Yeah, well, he's normally the banker of the casters, so that's absolutely fine. He can bail us out if required.
Well, look at what's happening here. Slimy's in middle. He's got the grenades ready.
Oh my
and 4
God, you've
people in the
actually got it. Champagne obtained. Yeah? That's sick.
They're ready for
God,
it.
Anders.
The Nader coming out. They're actually Molotoving him back. They get the kill straight away in
It's
the flashbangs.
perfect.
Yeah, they're going right in. It's everything that we wanted. Fugly is going to be going down as well. Complexity, they've dug really deep on this one now. They just got to clear out the rest of the site. And actually, they're not ready for the crossfire here. Daps is still alive and they're trying to hide behind that box, but they're coming in from every which angle. PTR going to be the last one left. It had to happen one time, Hank. One time it had to be the real deal. Android ends up getting the last kill.
Wow.
There we go.
You love to see it. Congratulations. That's amazing. They actually did almost exactly what you said. The Molotov as well.
So, if this was the old version of Inferno, this would have been my call. I would have happily said Rush Banana with Tech Hands on the old version of Inferno. I think that would have been worth it. I would have said, yeah, you know, we could probably, you know, one good flashbang. Yeah, we're close, you know, that's all fine. But I feel like on this version, it's not worth it.
You're too vulnerable to the grenades at the start from the CT side, right? You just throw those down. You can do like 60 damage per player if you go for a B-rush. That's why we don't really see that much of them anymore. You have to play a few rounds and see what the CTs are doing at the start, like nading, before you make a call like this is Rush B. So I'm nading every round at the start of CT side. So an eco here for NRG, they had cash to work with, Anders, but you don't need to force buy. Don't throw this away because you want to just end it as quickly as possible. Let them have a round, sure, it's fine.
Yeah. No, this is, I mean, I actually think there is sort of a skill to this, and some teams, they seem like when they're this far ahead, they get so energetic and so caught up in the winning moment that they just take a long time to cool the team down, as I would say, you know. And that's a problem, right? So this is where I think the leadership gets tested a bit, you know. Like Daps should be able to you know, crack the whip right now and say everyone is back in focus mode, you know. We were just in sort of, you know, pre-winning mode. Yeah. Now it's focus mode again, just to make sure nothing happens.
Yeah, so you just take a pause now, not even a pause, sorry, you take an eco just to work out, and it's like, okay, let's make sure we have full money here. Let's not start throwing our kind of economic situation away. Let's just make sure we have plenty of money and finish off with a proper gun round that we've practiced, we know is going to be strong. Yeah. We've got this huge lead, don't do anything stupid here, so don't even have to take a pause here, just use this round to discuss, maybe find a couple of kills. Didn't happen, just not a big deal. It will be 14-5, and now NRG just want to close this one out. But Complexity, fair play to them, 2 rounds in a row. Pulled it out of the darkness, and we'll see whether they can continue with this. At this stage as well, I think you're upgrading this UMP. I don't think you want to keep them. Like, screw the money game at this point. Let's just get rid of it. Let's get surreal on a rifle. Like, if you lose one round anyway, it's pretty much over. So I think you just get him on an AK, but...
Oh, what is this? The camera is taking a ride up the mill.
Oh, God. You like that, don't you?
I'm stunned beyond belief. That's beautiful.
That's beautiful. Well... We'll see whether Complexity do indeed manage to pick up another round here. So it does keep his UMP. I'm not a fan of that. They had 5k on 2 players. I think he does upgrade to the AK. Let's see what happens. So I guess the good news is we've got 4 players that were head arm on the CT side, so that's something. And Peter spotted one, and the trigger can't get it, though. Might go down. Just about survives. This is looking quite promising for Complexity now.
Whoa, what a headshot from Android. Fired up, and you're right, Peter on just 2 health. I wonder if they know. I mean, I think you saw the blood spatter on the wall behind there. So if they saw that too, they might be able to know.
There's blood all over the place. It's like it's a massacre over there.
Something we almost never see. Oh, wait, I'll get back to that in a second. But they're all crossing here. Daps right in front, and Desi will be going down, just making the cross to Library here. That's the bomb drop. Daps doing all the work right now. Triple kill for him, and leaves just in a 2-on-1 here. Peter, the last one left. What a crazy round, and Def eventually will get the kill on PTR. That could have gone horribly wrong. I know what I was going to say is that position, the coffin's position that people always, you know, smoke out. Yeah. You can actually throw HC grenades to that from out on Banana.
From where, sorry? So you're here?
Yeah, just up on the wall. Just boost up on the wall.
Oh, right. Okay, then throw it straight over.
Very, very easy to do. And they do an enormous amount of damage. You right in people's faces, you know.
I can imagine, yeah.
So if you know you've done damage to the Aubrey and he's going to be there, I mean, some of the time it'll be worth, I think, that risk.
I haven't seen anyone try that.
No, I don't know why people don't do it, because it's it is pretty straightforward.
Especially in AWP, that's like, you've got 2 positions, right? You've got the shadow position or the coffins.
Yeah.
And it's definitely worth a couple of HEs. Like, HEs don't really bring that much in terms of CSGO, in terms of frags. So that's quite a viable one. I like that.
Well, 14-6 at the moment in the 21st round here. And again, back to pistols for the NRG team. And again, this is where I would say this is where the leadership really comes under a lot of scrutiny, because you've got to be able to rally the troops here and get everyone into the right mindset for the end of it. Looks like they are going to go for a stack on the B bomb site. I like that. It's been a while since we've had a proper bomb site stack here. It looks like actually that it's going to happen. We're going to... Molotovs and everything are in. Are they going to pick up the bomb and go for it? They are feeling out the top mid, so maybe... No, they're realizing. It's a great call for Complexity.
It's very good.
Oh. Slemmy is aware of everything that's happening right now on the map. I'm liking this next level here. Now, Breezy, he's going to realize I picked the wrong bomb site to be on, but he does pick up 1 kill. Oh, my God.
Not like this.
NRG, what is going on? He actually almost managed to turn around. That's still a great double kill. Look at the USB damage coming in. Desi's gone down.
No.
Lil man, what have you done? Now it's Def and Slemmy left. 2 versus 3. Slemmy going to be walking in. UMP spraying wildly. Complexity. This is a must-win round.
Definitely. They've got the advantage back in their favor, but this is not being a clean round. 2 players surviving and the bomb ticks away. Obviously no kits available, no upgraded weaponry. Surely Complexity run away with this situation. It got a bit scary for them. But now I think with the bomb at this stage and no kills coming in as of yet, that should be it. They're just trying to limit the T's. Maybe just made them go down with the bomb here.
Yeah, I mean, that's still a lot to get out of a round like this one. Especially if you can run in afterwards and maybe pick up one of the weapons. Lil man is still on it. Fighting right on the site. They're going to get the kills regardless. I have no idea what's happening. They all got with the bomb in the end. But that's again, your Complexity and you're trying to mount a comeback and build the hype for it, you know, you almost lose a round like that. That's going to put the team in a weird mood.
Yeah, it actually like caused a lot of frustration now. You're losing the pistols and it's such a dicey round like that. People could be panicking and kind of get a bit agitated and maybe arguing this point as well. And it's like, what are you doing? How are you dying to PT50s? Like, where's the trade? Why is that not happening? And at this point, you need to work out, okay, sure, we can have this discussion right now, or we can just like forget about it and move forward. That's what you need to keep in your head and save it for the private server afterwards and work out what the problem was in that particular scenario. You need to keep your head in the right space. As we get into round number 22, still obviously with full buy Complexity with 4 rounds in a row. The money's going to be no issue at all here. But we do have another full buy here, and Peter's spamming the AWP off towards Banana. This is what we wanted to see from Complexity. These sort of plays, getting boosted up, having control of the Banana site itself, and they will be leaving Peter there, presumably, once he gets established, and they're trying to bait out a shot. As he said, you can see them jumping past. I think they have some sort of sense that he might be waiting for them.
Yeah, they really want them to go and take that wide peak, because already on the other side is Surreal. Let's see if Complexity can continue on this track back, or if NRG are finally going to figure out how to play the CT side themselves. I definitely don't think it's easy. I actually think almost no teams have got like a really good grasp on how to defend the B bomb site properly. It's a really open question in my mind, at least, how to get the best defense going. So I'm not entirely surprised that it's difficult for both the teams to do it.
Sure.
But 2 rounds, man, just 2 rounds.
Yeah, but that's a tall order for these sort of teams. NRG, yeah, sure, they have this huge lead, but as soon as they lose one of those clutches, they start losing a few rounds in a row. Complexity, they still have a shout within this one. This will be the... I was about to say full B execute. The bomb's there. They've got 30 seconds, but 3 players towards top mid. It's like the B split coming in. Is this the right call? I'm not so sure. Peter's been removed, though, so that's decent. And we'll see whether the CTs can actually do anything about this. The bomb will be making its way back towards middle. 22nd. If it doesn't get planted straight away, then they've got a problem there. And Surreal hits the first shot. That should secure the situation. But Little Man and Breezy looking to be the saboteurs here.
No smoke in that library position. I'm not sure why. Breezy picking up 2 big kills. You're right, it's almost out of time. But Def picks up the 1 shot, continues the spray. He's going to go down. They can't plant the bomb. That's it, NRG. Android, he gets the kill. What, 3 seconds too late?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I think that was too much of a risk. They had like the advantage there. They smoked Peter out towards the Banana. 20 seconds remaining. I think you fully commit with that one. Going all the way back towards A, sorry. You're like, there's such a huge risk in terms of the pressure. Sure, you might find the kills, but then you still got to get the bomb down. You can't check every single position on the site. You need at least like 10 seconds to clear the key areas out. If you're committing fully towards Banana, I think that's fine. Like, it's still a gamble, but I think it's less of one than running all the way back towards A, and Breezy just waiting for his chance to strike, gets 2 kills in the pit there, but it does cost him every single player on the CT side. So that's the good news for Complexity. Sure, it's series point right now, and the round that could decide whether they go out of the tournament, but they've broken the money of NRG. So UMPs and the Famas here, they've got plenty of cash themselves, so they can win this. Could be a double eco going forward, and it might not be over just yet. We could have another overtime situation on our hands.
I'd be really interested to see if Surreal, after he gets the first frag there on Arch, if he actually had a smoke to get rid of Library. Because I feel like if he had, then that was like a necessary smoke to throw at that point in time. But that's all hindsight at this point. Grenade gonna land. No one. Well, actually, was someone in Boiler, but not quite full damage on Def. Still pretty good. 23rd round here. We'll see if NRG can actually do it. They've already done a significant amount of damage. Now they're going to push into apartments. So if they push quad right now with 2 people naps, that could be very tricky for Complexity to deal with. And they're going to walk right into them. There's the first kill coming in, but up at apartments, Lil Man taking care of Def, and the bomb is wrapping around alone on Arch. That's so dangerous if someone was there, but looks like they are going to get a chance to put the bomb down here. 4 versus 3. Let's see if they can find a good after-plant position for it. They're going to go for the default plant. It's still taking quite a while. Grenade going to land and very nearly takes out Slemmy. Yeah, really good grenades.
Well, low HP, but they do have the superior firepower overall. Here comes the retake now. 1 kid available. That's in the hands of Fugly. This next kill pretty much decides it. It's a good flashback as well. They'll strike from 2 positions at once. This kill coming in momentarily. No one can find the aim just yet, but there it is. 2 kills for the CT side. Surely the third as well. Desi's doing everything he can, but there it is. GG.
Wow.
The first team to be knocked out of the minor, the North American minor or America's minor, will be Complexity. And I guess on paper, that does make sense. They're not a team that's exactly made a huge dent in the American scene so far, but it's still a shame to see them not even pick up a single map here.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, you know, we saw how much work they'd done on trains. You sort of wanted to believe that in a best of 3 they had another couple of maps down. Don't know what would have happened if we'd gone to the 3rd map. I mean, maybe they would have had something in the bag for us, but
you could see that their map pool isn't established squad yet. Train, great. They lost in double overtime. It happens. They're very structured in their map. Had lots of tactics, CT setups as well. Moving to Inferno, it's very basic CT structure they had. Just one setup, nothing really in terms of map control gained, and you can see them get overwhelmed, and it's a little bit too late. After you lose 12-3 in that first half, you can't really recover from that. That's going to be game over at that stage. And
interesting to see if Inferno's going to be played again against NRG later on. But we do have on the desk everybody ready, Frogmen and Eagles, and
Keep going
what's Matt?
He hasn't got one yet.
Hasn't got one. He's from Canada. Does that make him a moose?
Moose is good. I'm sure I'll welcome that. Anyway, over to you guys.
We'll find out.
How dare they forget that I'm an animal? I was named in 2015 in the studio, and I am the little lobster. So how dare they forget that?
Is that the one from The Little Mermaid?
Yeah, he's pretty cool. I like him, actually.
Sebastian.
Yeah, he plays the violin with his claw. He's awesome. Memes.
I like Moose, though. Moose could be good. Did you say eagle as well, Anders? I think Anders calls
no,
it...
that's
you're
the bald eagle.
The bald eagle.
You get the whole hair thing going on. I don't know if you noticed. I am bald.
I did notice. I didn't notice until I read it. And they pointed it out, and I was like, oh, of course.
Very observant, the Reddit people.
Yeah, they're good.
Very, very convincing win there by NRG. Very different to the first map. Didn't seem like Complexity really had anything going for them on Inferno. What were your thoughts on that? Slemmy didn't. The playbook from Slemmy.
Yeah, not
he wasn't able to bring it.
Say. Yeah, well, I mean, they start by going 0-8, right? And I mean, just starting CT side, you have to get the economy established. Like even the best teams in the world struggle when they can't have an economy on the CT side. It just limits so much what you can do. This is a map where it's very easy as a CT side if you're getting beat like this. To just kind of hang back, turtle up in the bomb sites, and then give a lot of space over to your opponents. That's kind of what happened. I mean, NRG kind of had their way for the majority of this terrorist half that they had. And then even towards the end, where Complexity gets a couple rounds, I think I get 3 total in that first half. It's just not really convincing. And at that point, I mean, it's traded back and forth. They win 2 in a row, lose 1, win 1. And in that sense, their economy just gets reset once again right at the end of the half, just making things very, very difficult for them. So, I mean, it even felt like going into that second half that things were kind of all over outside of that nice little Tech 9 waterfall.
Just to clarify as well, James, I can't be a moose because every bit of their anatomy is too big for me. It just doesn't represent me well. So
I'm glad your mind is really on task there. You're really thinking about
the moose is also a majestic creature.
So
you
is the beaver in Canada.
In no way are you a majestic creature.
See, moose are really dumb though. They actually go out and like lick the middle of the road when it rains.
That
and then
sounds like
hit
something
them
you do.
Yeah. Okay.
Fast swimmers, though.
They are fast
swimmers.
Yeah.
Surprisingly.
So are beavers. So are lobsters.
So are lobsters. I don't know if lobsters are
well,
fast.
yeah, I don't know about fast.
Yeah, either way, though, I mean, we talked about this a little bit. Back on track. You like that segue? Yeah.
Okay, so,
either way, we discussed this a little bit with the Def interview that happened when he said, you know, we have 5 to 6 tactics on every map, essentially, is what they kind of went over. And we all kind of looked at each other like, why? Like, it'd probably be better to have, like, 2 tactics nailed down, like 2 very basic things that you can kind of, you know, you have that one tactic that can branch off into a couple different things. But when you start, like, getting too big too fast, right? And we know the map pools for teams at this level and in the minors and everything like that are always going to struggle, right? You're always going to have a bigger disparity between your good maps and your bad maps. You know, your good maps are going to be much better than your bad maps. So that's kind of, it just feels like they try to bite off a little bit more than they could chew to really nail down. But either way, you had to have expected, once they lose their map pick of Train, with smaller map pools, that just usually goes downhill pretty quick.
And so we're going to have a look. We're going to talk about standout players and one specifically.
Yes.
Win the Mummy MVP, which is Fogley, with an impact rating of 5.75, 22 kills, 12 deaths, 2 assists.
Fugly returns.
And that's 6 retake post-plant kills as well. Very influential there.
Yeah, what was Homeboy in the first Mummy MVP? It was 4.
Breezy?
Yeah, it was 4 retakes.
Yeah, he had 4 retakes. This is 6.
So now we're up
and he
to
had
6.
8 trade kills. They had 5 trade kills for Breezy, so this is pretty huge. Opening kills a lot less, but hence why you also have a clutch in there because he's alive a little bit later.
And he's also someone who's you know, has a little bit more of a passive play style. He's been lurkers at different times, so obviously he's going to lend himself to a little bit more of the action mid-round, late round when he has the opportunities to. So yeah, no surprise that the opening kills have dropped off there.
Yeah. I think that actually highlights the role in some of the players when you look at the stats like that. Hard to describe it with numbers and binary, but it's definitely shows the difference between the two of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so one last final thought then for Complexity, as they are now our first team to leave the minor.
I'll take their pistols. Thanks very much.
That's what you want.
Yeah, they can give me their pistols.
Yeah, okay.
What
can they...
Bring me their pistols.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
That was good. Jason, if you had to play it along.
It was pretty good.
They can just give me theirs and walk out.
Kick the chair.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what can they take from this? What, you know, as a team, what I know you mentioned that they need to sort of have potentially a more refined playbook, but is there anything else they can take from this?
I mean, it's you need to. I think they just need to build on some individual decision making would be huge. I think one of the big keys to Counter-Strike that we don't see in North America, you see it a lot in Europe, is retakes. I'm of the opinion that retakes are probably one of the most important aspects of a Counter-Strike game that you as a team can develop. Because if you can retake bomb sites, you can do so many different things across the map, whether it's in the early game or the mid-round. It allows you to have so much more freedom in your decision making and how you want to do as a team. And I mean, if I'm a coach heading into a team, if I'm an in-game leader coming into a new team, I think I probably, honest to God, start with retakes, with post-plant situations, retaking the bomb sites, you know, post-plant even on the T side. But I think that's where the majority of important rounds are won and lost.
I think that's actually an interesting point because, like you're saying, you can stack, you can rotate off, you can kind of get aggressive somewhere and afford to lose a man.
If you need to make an information play, you can rotate someone off of bomb sites.
Well, I also think you have to do that not only just because you need to do it to get information in the way that the game plays, but because CSGO is faster. So if you can retake, you know, T sides are going to push a lot faster than they used to and get in there, and you're going to have to play retakes at some point in time, whether you're getting information or not by default. So yeah, good point. Cool.
Yeah.
They summed it up pretty well.
You just need to kind of assess like where they're at as a team and like where they're trying to go, right? I mean, this Surreal and Def experiment has been fun, and it's very happy to have guys from the UK where they don't have a developed scene come over to the States. But at a certain point, it really just you have to say, is this going to be worth it? Are we actually going to put the time in? Because I think they've been in the States for like a year now.
Def's been over. I have to think about that. One of them was signed last year in May, and I think that might have been Def, and then Surreal came over a little bit more recently. But yeah, it's been over a year for Def if that's the case.
And it's not to say those guys are the problem or those guys are holding them back in any way. It's just kind of like, you know, if you're away from home for that long, at a certain point, you know.
Yep.
At a certain point, you're just saying, is it worth it?
Cool. So we say goodbye to Complexity, but we do have one more game for today, and it'll be a best of 3. It'll be NRG now going through to play against Luminosity. But first, we will take a break. Stick with us, though, because it should be a great match. Thank you, guys, and yeah,
You're welcome.
We'll be back very soon.
Ribbit.